Thank you. So, warm welcome, everyone. My name's Diana Hunter, and it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome our very special guest speaker this morning, Naomi Joy, Presidential Director for Manatech Australasia. And aptly named, Naomi, you're a joy to know, and you really deliver profound and beneficial education to our Manatech community and their guests. So thanks for being here this morning. And I'd like to introduce Naomi. She started building her business with Manatech over a decade ago. Her background was in teaching, and she also had a traditional retail business. Naomi is a mum of 3 beautiful children. A lot of them are growing up fast, aren't they, Naomi? And they are her big reason why she builds a Manatech business. Naomi went from struggling to make ends meet and going further into debt to an international business and traveling around the world. The products have changed her life as well. And one of her favorite things is to travel to new destinations and experience the cultures there. And I know Manatech has given you the opportunity to do lots of that, Naomi. Naomi is a multi-award winner, including being twice recognised as Associate of the Year. And as one of Manatech Australia's top business success coaches, Naomi is well known for her marketing prowess. And as I was saying earlier, I love this quote: "No goals can be executed without a plan." And Naomi is the queen of planning. So with that, Naomi, I'll hand over to you. Have you got a presentation today? Is that what
yeah, I've got some booklets that I'm going to go through. So
okay, well, I'll hand over to you and I'll go off screen just in case I drop out again.
Okay, thanks, Diana.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon and Gary. It's such a pleasure to be on today. And you know, I'm very honoured to always come on this call and for what you guys are doing in our community. It's really such a blessing to be here. And welcome everybody that's on today. And, you know, I'm not sure if this is the first call, but it's often a good one to start the year off is with planning, because if we don't plan, we will, you know, we can't achieve those goals. And really, it's not really about the goals, it's more about the dreams and our heart's desires. And sometimes, you know, through the years with Manatech, I used to get stumped sometimes writing out goals because I'm like, oh, I don't always achieve them. And, you know, sometimes that could feel a little bit discouraging. But one of the things that I've learned to do is pairing a goal with what I call visioning. And when I pair those two together, it's a very, very powerful thing. And look, I understand we're in uncertain times. You know, we've had a couple of years that have been very uncertain. Does everyone agree with me there? It's been a little bit uncertain for people. And, you know, it's not just been what's been happening in the world, but it's also, for me personally, I had some uncertain things in my life personally that was sort of just, you know, found it difficult to find my feet again. And the thing about when you have a life plan is that even when times aren't certain, you can be certain. And so that's what the power of this is. You don't have to get swayed by what's going on in the world, you know, and that can happen. You know, you get on Facebook, you watch something, and all of a sudden you're swayed to uncertainty and doubt and possibly even fear sometimes, whatever side you're on. You know, it can go both ways. And so there's something about having a life plan that helps give you certainty. And with that certainty, it helps put you back in the driver's seat. You're not led by other things that come your way. You feeling you're more certain about your life. And I have these little affirmation cards that I have next to my bed. And you can put a new one in every day. And I got stuck on one, and it stayed there for a couple of months now. And I'm wanting it to sink into my very being. And it says, even when things are uncertain, I choose to be certain because I know that life always works out for me. So I'll say that again, even when things are uncertain, I choose to be certain, even because I know that life always works out for me. And if you can get that, if you can choose to be certain, if you can choose to be certain in your life, even when things feel a bit uncertain, you're making the choice because you know, okay, whatever direction it goes, I know it's going to work out for my best interests. And especially when you're following your life purpose and your vision for your life, and you've got that solid foundation. So a couple of questions. Has anyone done a life plan before? Just pop in the message, or in the chat there. Have you done a life plan before? Anyone done it? Yep. Awesome. Great. Some have. Some might not have. And sometimes it's really good to actually review that regularly. And with reviewing it, you're getting it deep into your heart on what you're here for. And so I'm going to take you through a couple of workbooks, and I'll make sure that Sharon gets them so that she can pass them on to you. Because that's you'll be able to work on that. And I would encourage you, don't leave it. Like, maybe take some time today to go and plan, go and set your plans for the year. And the other thing I wanted to see, does anyone use a daily planner? Just pop in the chat yes or no if you use a daily planner. Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. Yep. And look, I'm going to be honest, I don't use it every day, but when I do use it, it removes my overwhelm and I feel a lot more in control. When I don't use it, I feel like things are spiraling out of, and I feel overwhelmed. And that's the thing with a planner. It helps you be clear about what you're doing for the day. Sorry, I'm just going to have a drink. Okay, so I'm going to take you into the first workbook. Okay, so this is the life planning or life vision workbook. I don't like to say workbook, playbook is probably better. But the first place that is an amazing place for you to start is taking time out. And I generally go, I find somewhere else. I could go somewhere out of the ordinary. Often I'll go to a headland. We live on the ocean, and so I'll go to a headland and just find somewhere that really inspires you to start this process. And it could be somewhere in your house, as long as, like, generally if I've done it in my house, I've got some candles going, I've got some music, I've got some essential oils or something going to kind of invigorate the senses. But this is just that time where you build that excitement, you build that vision. And I think for some people, we've lost that. We've lost that a little bit over the last few years. And it's, we've had a few challenges in the world with what's going on, but different challenges as well. That's affected shipping and things in our business. And so many have faced those challenges too. And so this is a good time to just freshen your vision up. And even though I do some planning, it's probably not my biggest strength. That's sort of James's, that's more his strength. And so I kind of learn from that. But my big strength is visioning and really connecting into that vision and bringing that into the way that I carry through on my goals, on my daily actions. If I'm really clear on that, it really propels me forward. And so this part don't ever dismiss it. Like, take that time, you know, get up. Like, I can't tell you, there's this headland that I go to, and honestly, I get so many amazing ideas there. I feel invigorated. You know, it really excites my spirit. And so take that time, find that place, whatever that is for you, to excite your spirit again, because that's where you want to start. You know, you want to start the year off in that place and really connecting into, okay, what are you here for? What are your purpose? And so that's where you start. And you can, you know, I don't tend to take pen and paper at that place. That's more my, actually sometimes I do because I like to jot it, but it's more that just getting the excitement and the visions and the juices flowing there, and then coming back and then writing that into like a vision kind of, you know, what I'm wanting in those areas. And, you know, I know we've talked, there's vision boards and things like that. The thing about a vision board, unless you're really connected to it and it's something that's deep in your spirit, it doesn't really work. But you can definitely have it to jot those things in while you're working on goals and dreams. What you really want to be doing is daily envisioning. So connecting with what it is that you're wanting for your life. So there's a few things that you could write down here. Now, the next thing you want to do is, this is writing like a short, every movie has a little excerpt about what the movie is about. And so if we're creating your story, your life story, what do you want to summarize that with? And so it's just that little story that talks about what your life is all about. So what the first question that you feel in here is, what do you want most in life? So what is it that, you know, you want most in life? Is it to impact the lives of people? Is it to make a difference? What is it? Is it to, you know, some people it's about you know, having more income or wealth, and that nothing's wrong with that. But what do you want most in life? And then what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? And then why should people care? And so writing those out helps you to kind of give yourself a story summary for your life. And then you can put that all together there, and that will come into play in a little bit. I'll take you through what that is, but it's just a little bit of a summary for your life. And so that when you read it, it excites you, it gives you direction and a mission, and it tells the story of your life in such a short way, but it's a very powerful way. And then we go into your 10-year vision. Now, I know this seems like, oh, wow, that's a long way off. And for me, like I'll be 60. And kind of when I go there, it's like, okay, I'll be 60. So, you know, I'm not sure how much more work time I've got. I mean, obviously I've got more work time, but you know, what am I wanting? Like, I'm getting closer to where I want to achieve some big goals. And so this is your chance to look at that and go, wow, in 10 years, where do I want to be? And this is a really fun thing, is just to write this out. And it's, if a movie was made about your life this year, what would it be called? So, you know, you can pop in there, you know, actually, let's put that in the chat. In 10 years time, if a movie was made about your life, what would it be called? Just pop that in the chat. Yeah, awesome. Chris, you are such an inspiration. Like, seriously, you are such an inspiration. Overcomer. She did it her way. I love it. Any others? A movie renewal. Lovely. Love that. Anyone else want to share? Determination got her there. Lovely. She did it. Awesome, Kelly. Yeah. Fantastic, guys. So, you know, it just kind of gives you a little bit of direction. Like as you write that, you can kind of feel it. Like I'm seeing like she did it. Determination got her there. Thriving, fearless, like such exciting, you know, powerful things that you can have for that vision. And then in here, you just want to put in, okay, what's your vision for your career, which is our business, or, you know, you might have a career as well. So you might want to break that down. What is your vision for your health? You know, I've got some visions for my health for 10 years time, family, friends, spiritual, because it's very important that we have that part. It doesn't matter what you believe in, but you always want to have that spiritual aspect. And then 2 things I try to do every day. So what are 2 things that you're going to do every day? Is it, you know, in that 10 years, is it, you know, you're walking every day? 2 things I don't do, and that might be, you know, for me, it could be complaining. I don't want to complain. I don't want to be a whinger. You know, 2 things, you pick those 2 things. And so by doing that, it's going to help you to have that clear plan for 10 years. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm heading. And beginning with that end in mind is so, so powerful. And then again, your story summary at this point. And that might be the story of a shy, unemployed mum who overcame her fears to be successful in business and help other people achieve their dreams as well. So whatever that story is for you, you know, for me, 10 years time, I've got some big goals be working, and this has all happened this year after doing this life planning beginning of last year. The end of last year, I've been in contact with Destiny Rescue. So I'm going to be working with them, you know, just donating my time and my experience, helping them. So that's really going to be part of my next, you know, 5 to 10 years, is doing some big things with them as well. Because that's, you know, something that really stirs my heart too. So whatever that is for you, pop that in. And then you take it down to 5 years. So you want to think about, okay, in 5 years, you know, what's the sort of interval that I'll be at in 5 years to get to that 10-year goal. And so the same things that you want to put in there for your 5 years. Now, what you might say, oh, well, why do we, if I would have got a 10-year, why do I need a 5-year? Well, it's the stepping stones to get to that 10 years. So 10 years is really that ultimate. And then the 5-year is, okay, this is a stepping stone to that point. And then this is your 1 year. Okay, so this is where you can really get down to specifics. And, you know, the other ones might be a little bit more general, but this is where you can get down into specifics about where you want to be in the 1 year. And, you know, you're starting at a perfect time is now. And so that you can be really clear for this year, okay, what do I want what's my vision for this year to achieve those things that my life visions and what I'm wanting to achieve in my life. So the same thing, fill that out. But a little bit more here is the primary tasks for you to, and then the deadlines for you to achieve that. So you want to be putting in here, you know, those primary tasks to be getting there. And I'll go through the goal in a minute, but you do want to be putting in those primary tasks that need to, and the deadline for achieving those. And then this is a goal setting worksheet. Now I'm going to take you through, I did, this was, I think we did this at AIM, which I'll take you through again. And we've got goals in here These goals are great for sort of smaller goals, like the little step goals, but I personally like this goal for the bigger goals. So if you have a big goal, you know, for example, you want to reach a leadership level, so gold executive. So you can put this in here, but this is quite a detailed goal setting sheet. So for your big goal, I would use this one because it's going to help you achieve those little milestones and things like that. So why does this goal matter to me? And you've really got to connect into this. If you don't, you know, there's been plenty of times I've written a goal and it hasn't really connected. Just writing a goal isn't enough. It's, you know, writing them is important, but it isn't enough. And, you know, then writing it and putting it in, you know, a back drawer or never looking at it again, that's not enough either. It has to be something that you go over daily and you're reading it daily to connect to where you want to be. And also using that visioning part. So why this goal matters to me, you put in there, you know, and you might need more space for that. You could write some more on the back, because that's really that heart connection. And unless you have the heart connection to your goal, it's not going to be enough to help you overcome the struggles. And remember what Dr. Adam Fraser talked about. He talked about the struggles. We all face struggles. If you're going for a goal, you're going to face struggles. There's no doubt about it. There's just no doubt about it. There is going to be struggles, and whether that's a health goal, a fitness goal, a business goal, whatever that is, there'll be some struggles. And he talks about that when you face those struggles, there's two things that you can do. You can either move upwards into growth and choose that path, or you can move downwards into fear, into discouragement, and then ultimately into shame. And I think sometimes when we don't, it's why we're a little bit afraid of goals, because sometimes we move into that shame place. And I want you to know, you know, it is a normal thing. Like, I haven't achieved it again, and you beat yourself up. But just use every experience as a learning experience. So if you didn't achieve it, it's okay. It's all part of this journey, and it might be a struggle journey, but you can always come back up into that growth and say, okay, well, what do I need to do to achieve that? Do I need to learn something new? Do what do I need to do something differently? Do I need to record myself when I'm talking to someone so I can actually evaluate that? And that was one thing I always did, was I was always going, okay, where am I? Okay, I've got leads coming in, I'm talking to them, but I'm not closing them. Okay, it was in closing that I needed to really work on and improve my skills. You know, if it's you're not having enough leads, okay, well, find out, you know, do some courses, find out some things about how you can do that. And then by doing that, you're moving into growth, and that's where the power is. That you can only go up from there. If you're constantly going into that growth angle, then you can't not succeed, because you've got a growth mindset. But this is a big one, goal partners, and that's one thing with what we do in network marketing. We can have partners that can go on this journey with us, and that's your upline, because, or even corporate. If you don't have an active upline, you can put anyone from corporate. Jenny would be happy to be your goal partner, and by having that, it helps make you a little bit more accountable in what you're doing as well. Then we want to go into like the different milestones. So if this is a long-term goal, you know, to be completed, you know, 10 months, 11 months, then you want to have milestones and that might, excuse me, And that might be, you know, a certain amount of points on those milestones, whatever that is. You know, maybe it's another leadership level that you're working towards, and that's your milestone. Whatever that is, you put those in there. And then this is really important too, my daily sacrifices to reach this goal. I think it's Grant Cardone says, we don't ever set a goal too high. We just don't estimate. We underestimate the amount of energy it takes to achieve that goal. And, you know, you'll know that. So if you think, okay, to get to Gold Executive or to get to Presidential, I've got to send one presentation a day or have one call a day. That's probably not going to be enough. Just know that, okay, I'm really underestimating that. So you need to actually up that to achieve that goal. And the sacrifices is, you know, for some people, it might be, you know, 1 hour less TV a day. It might be, you know, there were quite a few things that were sucking my time up that I had to let go of in reaching goals. So have a look at your week and say, okay, well, what is taking my time? What takes my time from, you know, what I want to achieve here? So that's really important, is to know that there will be sacrifices. There's always going to be sacrifices involved in reaching a goal. And, you know, that might be getting up earlier to go for a walk every day if that's your goal, to, you know, lose weight or be healthier. And then parts of this project that must be completed. So, you know, put those into. And this repetition record is for you to just tick off, because you want to be looking at this. You don't want this off into a drawer somewhere that you know you never look at again. You want to be connecting with this daily, and that comes into this. I gave this, I think it was for AIM, but you know, you can have it again if you don't have it. And one of the things that we need to look at is, okay, what am I not happy with at the moment? What could I do better in? And then also, what am I happy with? So, you know, you want to celebrate what you're doing well, because you know, we don't want to go to shame. That's just going to stop you. You're going to go to self-sabotage. You want to celebrate what you're doing well as well. But part of it is also looking at, okay, what could I improve here? And this is also part of what I want to be remembered for this. And that comes into those visioning. What is it that you want to be remembered for in this life? And when we think about it like that, and, you know, whether we've got however many years we've got left, it's okay, what do I want to be remembered for? And that's really going to propel you forward. And these three things will change this year. You know, there needs to be some things that change. So if you're not where you want to be, you need to look at, okay, what am I doing that I could do better? And what are the big three things that I'm going to change this year? You know, for me, it's I don't look at Facebook very much. I get on sometimes. I have deleted last year. I deleted the app off, which is really funny because I work Facebook, but I deleted the app off my phone so that I wouldn't get caught up in the news feed. But it is okay. What are three things that you will change this year? And it might be, you start using a daily planner to help you get on track. You know, whatever that is for you, what are the three things that you will change this year? And then why? Why is that going to be important to you? Why? You know, because if we just write something, it doesn't mean anything until we connect to that why. Why is that going to be important to you? And then these are sort of the smaller goals. So we've got that bigger goal sheet that you want to fill out for your bigger one. But these are just sort of smaller goals that, might be important to you. And that might be, lose 3 kilos before conference or whatever that is, and why that's important to you. So writing those goals out is good too. It might be doing a course. So, there might be a course that helps you in your business and your growth. It might be to meet with your upline once a week. So those goals, well, why are they important to you? Connecting into that which helps you achieve that bigger goal that you're working on. And a big thing that I do is time blocks. And I know everybody's got, if you've got family and you've got kids and you got all those things, time block is my big thing. I have to have time blocked off for my family, time blocked off for my business, and time blocked off for certain parts of the business. So sometimes it's team calls. I've got time blocks for that. It's following up. I've got a time block for that. So that helps me keep on track, because if I don't have that, I do lose track, and I can do something and it takes up a whole day. So having those time blocks really does help. And then having this is a daily schedule that I use. I've got my goals reviewed, reminding myself why I do this. So most mornings is just taking that time to do that envisioning before I start work. So I'm really coming into anything that I do in an inspired state, not in, I've got to do that, I've got to call those people, I'm not very excited about that. If you come into an inspired state, or even like posting something on Facebook, you can come into that, into a, I'm really worried, what if someone gets offended, or what if they don't like what I've posted. Or you can come into an inspired state. I'm really excited. This might be something that helps me connect to those people, because my plan for my life is to make a difference in the lives of 100 people. And so this could be that post that gets that, or this could be the call where I help somebody achieve something great in their life. And so when you come from that place, it's so much more inspiring than, I'm really scared about posting this. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. I don't know if anyone's going to comment, or I'm scared about calling that person, or I'm scared about reaching out. Come from that inspired place, and you're going to bring that into everything that you do. So when you talk to people, when you interact with people, they're interacting with someone who's inspired. And Chris commented before, and Chris, you are such a beautiful example of somebody who's inspired. You radiate that. You've got the joy, and people can connect to that and feel that when you reach out, because you can feel that when you're around you, Chris. You've got that beautiful joy, and you've got that purpose in your heart too. And then I always write the 3 things that I'm thankful for. Helps me also to, when something does go wrong, and we've had a few things with deliveries and all that sort of thing. I don't know if you have, but I have. And COVID and all of the things that have gone on, it helps you come into that thankful state. And really, this is all about being in the right state, and the envisioning, and then thankfulness and gratefulness. It's all about helping you be in the right state to do the things that you need to do, because some things aren't comfortable. They don't feel, they're not easy to do. And so coming from that state and getting yourself in that state, it's such a powerful place to be. And then always have the 3 big things of the day. So I always have those 3 big things that, you know, I'm working on or that I must get done. And then just some of those little tasks as well, you know, some little tasks in work. So it might be send an email or something like that. And then also my personal to-do, because, you know, part of, for me personally, is making sure that I'm exercising, I'm eating healthy. That's a big part of my personal things. But then, you know, there's also for my family, what do I need to do for them? And then planning out the next day, reading your why again, and your write out, important to know what you're doing for the next day. So write out those 3 big things that you're going to do, and then you can transfer any of those to do things. But you want to have those 3 things every day, because that really helps. This will help with overwhelm. This will help with, I don't know what to do today. This will help guide you in knowing what to do for the day and remove that overwhelm that we can often get when, you know, when we don't have a plan for the day and we're just trying to catch up or make, you know, do whatever you do. You're not really clear on where you're going for the day. So that's going to help you. So hopefully I'll just send out, check if anybody's got any questions. If you've got any questions, pop that in. But hopefully that's given you some strategies that you can start off this year in a really good way. And, you know, I do understand we've gone through some crazy times, and, you know, for a lot of states, you're still going through it. For New South Wales, we kind of were hit at the, like, last year, kind of mid to end, and it was a bit of a tough time. And, you know, times are challenging, but having your vision and your goal for your life, it's going to direct you, and it's going to give you so much more purpose. And through that purpose, you get to impact more lives. And by impact, that's what you're here for. And you know, I know the Manatech community, it's such a beautiful community, and it's such a great group of people that really have in their hearts to impact the lives of others. And, you know, by doing that, by playing small, you're not impacting like you could. And doing this is going to help you see what you're here for, what you want to be in 10 years, or where you want to be, what sort of impact that you want to be making in your life in 10 years. And sometimes it's just about writing it, and then all of a sudden things come into play. And yeah, which happened for me with Destiny Rescue at the end of last year. We donated some money, and then he called up, and then we got talking, and then I was able to offer some services. So you can put those things out, and you don't often even know how that's going to happen or how you're going to do that. And then through doing that and through reviewing it, it's like God, I believe God, but if you want to talk about the universe, you can, but I believe in God, brings things in your path to help you achieve those things. And, you know, whether that's business, whether that's, you know, purpose, whether that's the great thing about what we do in our business is we can have so much purpose in it as well. We're, you know, in what we're doing for the children, but also in changing other people's lives. So I'm sure everybody here has a story where they help somebody on products and their life was dramatically changed. And many people here, your life was changed. So if you come from that place, if you come from that place of, by doing this, I have the opportunity to change more lives, then nothing's going to stop you. So take that today, and if it's been a challenging, or you're still going through challenging times, which I know in some states it has been challenging, let this be the one that gives you that certainty, that direction for your life, that no matter what's going around you and maybe, you know, which way the government wants you to go or whatever, you're firm in the direction that you're going, and you can choose to be certain. Even in uncertain times, you can choose to be certain, because you know that your life always works out for the best. And, you know, that's such a powerful thing. And I pray that you all take this on today. It's always good to take, otherwise that you forget it. It's gone. You know, those things, you forget it, it's put in the back, and you know, you move on. Take this today, take some time. It's Saturday, go and find somewhere that's a beautiful, inspirational place, and just take that time to fill your spirit up. And by doing that, you're going to get that vision back, and then you can make those. Never do a goal without doing something that helps connect into your heart first, and connect into your vision for your life. So thank you so much for having me on. And it's as always, it's been a blessing. I do love the Manatee community. There's so many beautiful people, and such a pleasure to be on.
Well, Naomi, you've certainly blessed us today, and there's so much gratitude in the chat there for you. And some of the words are, you know, the wisdom, and it has been incredible wisdom that you've gifted to and experience that you've gifted to our community this morning. And, you know, we've got have in our hands this comprehensive planning template to set the scene for this year and many years ahead. You'll access this in our archives. You can go back and review it, because there's so many gems in there. But I love the idea of the getting into an inspired state, creating the vision, envisioning, and then having a solid plan and action steps for bringing that into reality. Thank you so much, Naomi. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're back next week with Dr. Steve Nugent, focusing on the immune system. So bring your guests and make the most of it. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, Naomi.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Naomi. See you, everyone.